Good morning, Dawgpound South podcast. Good morning, Dawgpound South. Um, well, this is the Cleveland Browns Dawgpound South podcast, part of the Fanatical L's network, part of the Fans First Sports Network. Well, Dawgpound South campers, it's Victory Monday. How about that? Victory Monday. But it's also Choose Your Narrative Day. We'll get into that a little bit later. So, what happened yesterday? Defense, elite. I mean, if you were going to tell me that the Browns had 5 sacks in the first half and Myles Garrett still hadn't had one, I would say you were joking me. You were trying to kid me. So, it just was amazing. Here's a stat I saw today. Myles Garrett, as we all know, has 18 sacks and 26 tackles for loss. The Cincinnati Bengals as a team has 15 sacks and 33 tackles for a loss as the team. So that was just a dominant. Like I said yesterday on the pregame show, the defense needed to play elite. They had been playing elite at home and very good on the road. But it just goes to show you that this team can win games without having to have a good offense. This is what we kind of figured was going to happen. They did, let me tell you, Geno Smith, man, he took a beating. He was hit 6 times, pressured all day. Isaiah McGuire had 10 pressures. I mean, the guys doing the stats during the game were scrambling all game trying to figure out who to credit who for tackles and tackles for loss and sacks. It's insane. 10 sacks. I remember 94, it was November. I think it was the New Orleans Saints is when they had 11 sacks, and that was a home game. They destroyed the Saints that day. Hey, special teams. Where you been all year? 2 games in a row. Great punt return. And, the kicker trips him and gets a penalty. And, that was going for a touchdown. That was. If the kicker hadn't done it, but fine, they called the penalty. And speaking of penalties, the Browns did not have a penalty in the first half at all. Then that's amazing. But special teams played well. And late in the game, they gave up a little bit too much yardage on returns. But still, I thought they were going to block a punt. First quarter, they came after the punter because he's not very good. And there were a couple times I thought for sure they were going to block a punt. Then they changed their emphasis to returns, and it all worked out. So defense was elite. Special teams didn't cost you the game. As a matter of fact, they helped you again this week. So, offense. Not where it should be at all. Yes, Shedeur Sanders stretched the field. He got the big hitters. He's been doing something that Dylan Gabriel has been unable to do. And matter of fact, that pass to Isaiah Bond, that kind of loosened up the Raiders defense. They didn't bring the blitz anymore. Well, until Max Crosby became Max Crosby in the fourth quarter and showed everybody why he's the best defensive player on their team. But still, but like I said yesterday in the pregame show, this offense has been terrible. All they had to do was improve it to be bad. So, he had good throws. He stretched the field. That's what you're supposed to do. He had 5 good throws, 2 to Fannin. That third down one when they were backed up in the end zone, that was a thing of beauty. He got him. Everybody thought, oh, he's not going to get the first down. Then Fannin, both catches. just worked his butt off to get to the first down. Rookie. The 66-yard screen pass, that was a thing of beauty too. That's not an easy thing to do. Gabriel missed that in the Jets game, and they would have scored on that screen pass. But got to give Sanders credit. Another thing you got to give him for, he kept his eyes downfield, and he kept stepping up into the pocket. Good job by you. Okay, kid listened, but they kept it simple for him, which is what he needs. Third quarter was ugly, and late in the game also ugly. I don't know what the problem was, getting the play called, getting the play in. They got to work on that. That just took way too long. You don't want your rookie quarterback standing there getting up to the line of scrimmage with 10 to 9 seconds left on the play clock. So they're going to have to correct that and correct it soon. Other than that, the running plays, I thought they would be a lot better. I love the Wildcat down at the goal line. And before all the Sanderites out there get all upset that they took him out to run goal line Wildcats, they did the same thing with Gabriel against the Dolphins. They did twice. But if that's the only way you can get running plays, I mean, especially against the Raiders, their defense kind of stinks. So, the offense was a little better. It wasn't great, but it was a little better. Let's take a quick break. Look, the kid brought energy. They made things simple. A lot of people are making a big deal out of Kevin Stefanski not naming the starter after a post-game news conference. That's not when you do it. You don't name your starter then. Look, players like playing for Kevin Stefanski because he doesn't throw them under the bus. If he were to name Sanders right after the game as the starter next week, he'd be throwing Gabriel under the bus. You've got to understand the dynamics involved in an NFL team, personality dynamics between coach and players and GM and agent. People don't understand that. So Kevin Stefanski isn't going to name the starter right after the game. What he's going to do is talk to both Gabriel and Sanders, and by Wednesday we should know. And here's a surprise. I think Sanders should start against San Francisco. I really do. They're a much better team than the Raiders. Let me tell you, the Raiders are a terrible, terrible team. But you get it at home, get the fans a little hope. I know used to say hope is not a strategy, but nobody ever finishes that quote. Hope is not a strategy. Sometimes it's the only strategy. So yeah, let's further the offense a little bit more. That's what you want. You want your team to take the deep strikes. You want your team to get the big plays. And Sanders shows he could do that. Even the pass to Jerry Jeudy, he kept his eyes downfield, saw where Jeudy was. Jeudy got open, so helping his quarterback, and he threw a perfect pass. But then Jeudy gets stupid. I mean, come on, that was dumb. I mean, you're going to put a move on a defender doing a juke like that? You could have scored, you moron. But still, there were 5 passes that changed the way this game was going to turn out. And the little nuances of these passes, that screen pass, that's not an easy thing to do. A lot of people think that's easy. Well, I mean, when Gabriel threw it over the wide receiver's head, everybody's going, oh, you can't do anything, you can't make it. That's not an easy pass to make, especially you're going to have pressure. Your wide receivers your offensive linemen are going to slide out to block. And Dylan Sampson wasn't touched because they set that up perfectly and the throw was perfect. So, like I said, let's give Sanders a chance to start against the 49ers. They're a much better team than the Raiders. Then he gets, I think he should continue to start. You've got to know what you have. And if he keeps winning games just by being the starting quarterback, then you don't have to worry about a quarterback in the draft next year. You don't have to worry if the kid from Oregon is going to come out or not, or the kid from Alabama is going to come out or not. You don't have to try to waste picks to get Mendoza. I mean, you can build an offense around Sanders if he's the guy. And the only way to find out if he's the guy is to start him against a very good team in the San Francisco 49ers, and let's see what happens. I mean, because after that, they get Titans, they got the Bills, they get Pittsburgh, they got Cincinnati. God only knows what's going on in Cincinnati. Pittsburgh is a mess, too. They got the Bears. Bears are looking pretty damn good right now. They're clicking on all cylinders. So let's see what the kid does. If he wins you games, then he could be your starter next year. But he's going to have to improve. He did leave some passes on the field. He did overthrow a little bit. He got a little lackadaisical in the third and fourth quarter with some passes. He kind of air-mailed a few things. But he'll learn, just like Gabriel could learn. Gabriel's problem is, and, he processes quickly, but they designed this offense to take Shedeur Sanders' strengths. So I'm for letting the kid, I don't care about either one. I don't care. I just want the Browns to win. And if it's Gabriel as the quarterback, fine. If it's Sanders as the quarterback, fine. If it was Kenny Pickett at the quarterback, fine. I just want victories. That's all I want. They need as many draft picks next year to fix the offense. In free agency, they need to help fix the offense. They need tackles. They need a guard. They need wide receivers. I would even say they need another tight end just to be on the safe side. You're going to see some more contracts, extensions coming up. They already did Alex Wright. Alex Wright gets a contract extension, doesn't play, and the defense goes out and just destroys the Raiders. So I think Isaiah McGuire now deserves a contract extension. And I think depending on how JOK is doing, and this will be one tell for everybody, if they if they re-sign Devin Bush, then that tells me that JOK isn't doing that well. If they let him walk, that tells me JOK will be back next year. Just keep an eye on that. And like I said, they've still got to do Njoku. I would give Teller another year, although the last 2 years he's not been that good. Ethan Posick, why not? Give him another year. See what Bitonio is going to do. You may have to wait till February to find out if he's going to come back or not. If he does, redo his contract. Do like a 1-year deal so he can retire after next year. But they can still redo some. They have plenty of money. They got over $23 million in cap space. I believe they're number 3 on the list in cap space. So they've got plenty of cash. But like I said, they got to fix the offense. But let's see what Mr. Sanders can do to help that along. Like I said, if he can win games, offense can get a little bit better. Let's go. They went from terrible to bad yesterday, and let's see if they take the next game from bad to average. With this defense and the special teams not costing you games, all the offense has to do is be average. All right, let the rookies take over. And that was the plan the entire time, except Kenny Pickett was going to be the quarterback, which I think they would have won 3 more games with Pickett. But anyway, that's my opinion, and my opinion only. So it's a happy victory Monday. Don't listen to what the media wants you to hear. You just believe your eyes. You saw the game. So just be realistic in watching what you watched yesterday. Be realistic. I mean, go back and look at that third quarter. That was an ugly ass third quarter. It was. My God. two 2-8 teams playing terribly in a quarter of football. All right, so that's it for today. Thank you very much for joining me on the Cleveland Browns Dawgpound South podcast, part of the Fanatical L's Network, part of the Fans for Sports Network. I'm your host, Steve Gill, and as always, thank you for listening, watching, following, and subscribing. And everybody, we're just Browns fans like you. So everybody, have a great day and go Browns.